actually its ankle. So in effect, the bird is tippy-toeing through the shallows. While they may not have teeth, birds have the next best thing, a bill or beak. They're not only used for eating, but also in grooming, defense, and even courtship. These hardy facial structures are composed of keratin, the same fibrous protein that makes up hair, feathers, and claws. Specialized beak shapes are highly developed tools for eating. Spoonbills swing their broad, flat, spatula-like bills side to side, partly open, as they wade. The bill's sensitive tip detects food at the slightest touch and snaps shut on any morsel. Effective, but slow. Spoonbills spend hours a day feeding. Roughly half of all bird species found in the world today are passerines, or songbirds. A bird's vocal organ is called a syrinx. Located where the windpipe forks off to the lungs, it allows birds to produce more than one sound at a time. Which enables them to create such complex songs. Bird families number in the hundreds. To help navigate this massively diverse class, some common but broad groupings will help to identify the amazing variety of birds that inhabit our world. Songbirds can weigh as little as half a teaspoon of sugar and up to about 1.5 kilos, and are commonly known as perching birds, thanks to the layout of their grasping feet. Three forward-pointing toes, plus one larger toe at the back, means they can get a tight grip when perching. The northern mockingbird is the champion of vocal gymnastics. Able to mimic a wide variety of other birds and also cats, dogs, and insects. The more diverse their vocal range, the more likely they are to find and keep a mate. Usually monogamous, females constantly evaluate their mate's performance, especially when an unmated male moves in nearby. The champions of the skies, top-tier hunters. This formidable group come armed with sharp, hooked beaks, strong, brawny legs, and razor-like talons. Their eyesight is just as sharp, allowing them to detect their prey while on the wing. Bald eagles have 4 talons on each foot. The rear talon, called a hallux, is longer and points forward. The front talons hold the prey immobile, while the hallux pierces the vital areas. These hunters and scavengers are also known as raptors, a name that means to seize or take by force. Wading birds present a far more tranquil image as they roam the water's edge. Some are more lanky than others, but all are perfectly adapted to walk the shallows of their feeding grounds. Most of these birds breed on land, never straying far from waterways. The Australasian grebe makes things a little harder as it builds its nests out of decaying vegetation, floating on the waterways. The hard work pays off because as the amount of vegetable matter builds up, it gives off heat, helping to incubate the eggs. Wading birds vary greatly, and not just in body size. Beaks and bills come in a vast range of shapes to best suit the owner's appetite. A heron's powerful beak is perfect for striking at small fish in the shallows, their long neck held in readiness in an S shape, able to shoot out with startling speed. Waterfowl, as the name suggests, are very much at home on the water. With their characteristic webbed feet, wide, buoyant bodies, and flat bills. True, waddling makes them appear a little clumsy on land. Add water, and these birds hit their stride. A picture of effortless grace as they glide along the surface, funneling sounds into their ears. In order to comfortably perch, stand, or wade in the most extreme conditions, birds have evolved with fewer nerves in their legs and feet, enabling them to endure harsh elements longer. Birds may not have teeth, but their beaks are built to handle their favorite foods. Different designs for various menu items. Small, cone-shaped beaks are perfect for cracking seeds. Thin, pointy beaks, just right for snatching up insects. Hooked tips help with grip. A special muscular section in their stomach, the gizzard, aids digestion by grinding and crushing tough items. Birds can sometimes be seen eating gravel or stones. These go right to the gizzard and become teeth inside their stomachs. While most birds are content with standard features, some have been bestowed with fancy accessories. Crests and crowns can be part of mating displays, but cockatoos' attention-grabbing crests are thought to signal emotions. Raising their crest helps convey intentions and warnings with others. It also makes them appear bigger and serves as an early warning to aggressors. The golden feathers of the crowned crane help to blend in with the tops of the vegetation of the grasslands they inhabit. But for others, the headdress is not enough. Sometimes birds need to go all out to attract a mate. Peacocks show off from top to tail, their famous shimmering trains made up of 200 feathers. Wattles are another type of eye-catching ornament. These bright, fleshy growths are for attracting potential mates. The brighter, the better. Cassowaries top off their unusual good looks with a headpiece called a casque. Its purpose is unknown. Theories suggest it could be a natural helmet, a tool to knock down fruit, or a reproductive decoration. One decoration that can't be missed in the breeding season is the bright red throat sac of the male magnificent frigate bird. Once these fellows have chosen a nesting site, they puff up their vibrant balloon and put on a magnificent display for any interested females. Individually fascinating, as a group, birds move into the realm of spectacular. Flocks of starlings perform what are known as murmurations, shape-shifting gatherings of birds. Hypnotizing to watch, these feathery clouds are thought to do just that, mesmerize and confuse any predators. A spectacular example of safety in numbers. At the end of the Cretaceous period, 65 million years ago, the age of the dinosaurs was over. Or was it? To a paleontologist, the answer is as plain as the scales on a bird's legs. Scales like those seen on reptiles and dinosaurs. Birds and reptiles share other traits, like eyes, brains, and skulls that are similar, partially hollow bones, plus they both lay eggs. Characteristics like these have led scientists to believe reptiles and birds have very old family ties. The link between these two was Archaeopteryx, the first known bird with fossils discovered in 1860. A century later, and the next piece in the origin of birds puzzle fell into place, with researchers noting shared characteristics between modern birds and small theropods, carnivorous dinosaurs. Shells allow parent birds to sit on their precious bundles while incubating them. Although the shell of a bird's egg seems solid, the entire surface is dotted with pores that allow gas exchange, with oxygen going in and carbon dioxide flowing out. Made from calcium carbonate, the default color for eggs is white, but colors and patterns vary greatly between species and even within the species. Even at this early stage in life, camouflage is a must. Ground nesting birds need eggs to match the surrounding terrain. Tree nesters usually have green or blue eggs. Color strengthens the shells and aids as a sunscreen. Birds that lay in hollows or deep nests tend to lay white eggs. While the ostrich is the largest of the birds, its eggs are considered the smallest relative to the size of the adult. An ostrich will lay around 15 eggs over a short period before it will sit on them. During the laying season from March to August, they can lay as many as 100 eggs. Once a female has laid her clutch of eggs, they need to be kept warm. Most birds use brood patches to warm their developing eggs. These are patches of bare skin with lots of blood vessels at the surface, perfect for heat transfer. But not all birds sit on their eggs. Others choose to stand on them, like boobies. These seabirds pass body warmth onto their eggs via their webbed feet. Many penguins use a combination of these two techniques, wedging the egg between their brood patch and their feet. With emperor penguins, this is the sole duty of the father, and he has the longest wait for a chick to emerge. 2 long, cold months. When the time comes to hatch, most baby birds come equipped with an egg tooth to help them break through the inner membrane and then the hard shell. Located on the tip of their upper beak, this sharp projection is like a tiny hammer, the chick using it to slowly but surely chip out an escape route. Soon after hatching, this clever tool drops off. While all birds come from eggs, they are not all born equal. Different species arrive at different stages of development. Precocial chicks, like these kelp geese, arrive with a covering of warm down feathers. Their eyes and brains are well developed, and while they can't yet fly, they can walk. Some are able to feed themselves soon after hatching. Others are so advanced they can swim, dive, and catch fish within their first few days. While they are fairly independent, precocial chicks can take months to fledge, when they develop wing feathers large enough for flight. This means, until they can take to the skies, the parents are constantly on predator alert. In comparison, altricial chicks are born bare, blind, and helpless. Apart from having to keep their babies warm, the parents also have to feed them. A task that becomes increasingly demanding as these slow starters are rapid and ravenous developers. Altricial chicks have a habit of begging for food, waggling their gaping mouths at their parents. The edges of their mouths are bright, filled with blood. When a chick has an empty stomach, they're even brighter. Researchers have noted that parents will feed chicks with the most colorful mouths. This hectic phase is, thankfully for the parents, relatively short, with altricial chicks fledging quite quickly, some being on the wing and independent in less than a month. No matter what kind of chick, none of them are going anywhere without feathers. On baby birds, when their first real feathers start sprouting through their skin, they look like spines. These are called pin or blood feathers, as they have a blood supply to support their growth. Pin feathers can also be seen on older birds that are in the process of shedding or molting. As each new feather grows, the protective sheath around it gets longer. Eventually, the developing feather expands and unfurls. During this stage, these avian adolescents can look quite awkward and scruffy. A fully fledged youngster not only has a full coat of feathers, but the muscle power in its wings to support flight. Birds are not born flyers. These beginner pilots need to learn and earn their wings. It's a process of trial and error, each attempt giving the wing muscles a chance to strengthen and grow. Young birds can look quite different from their parents, their immature plumage often having spots or other markings to help camouflage them while they learn more about their environment, where to roost, what to eat, and any potential dangers. Depending on the species, some youngsters stay with their parents until the next breeding season, or stay on to help babysit the next generation. Others are driven off to find a territory of their own. As they grow, a young bird's looks will also mature. With many species, telling males from females is quite easy due to the fact they are dimorphic, meaning they display visual differences. Males are often brightly colored to help them attract attention and hopefully a mate. Their female counterparts are often quite dull, perfect when trying to blend in and hide a nest full of chicks. Sometimes the two sexes in one species look so different they've been mistaken as two separate breeds. The male western Parotia bird of paradise has an iridescent display of plumage including head wires sprouting behind each eye. The female, by comparison, is so dull and unadorned that it is hard to credit as the same species. The lifespan of birds is highly varied. Compared to other animals, birds are incredibly long-lived. Geese not only mate for life, but can live as long as 24 years. The first 2 years of life are the danger zone. If a young bird can survive accidents, disease, predation, migration, and winter starvation, it may live a surprisingly long time. Visit any of the 7 continents and there will be birds, guaranteed. From harsh, arid regions to the frozen extremes, birds have adapted to live and breed in almost every terrestrial habitat. No matter where they live, a bird's habitat must provide them with 4 basic essentials: food, water, shelter, and nesting sites. In return, birds play many important roles in their environment. In the food chain, they can be anything from primary consumers, feeding on vegetation and grains, through to apex predators. By weeding out the weak, they ensure the overall health of the entire ecosystem. Thanks to their dining habits, birds are also excellent at natural pest control. Even the humble duck does its bit, dabbling in the water for tasty mosquito larvae. Many plants rely on feathery visitors to work as pollinators. Nectivorous birds are rewarded for their services with a sweet drink of nectar. Birds fall for the same trick with fruit. Frugivores eat only fruit, and by dispersing seeds far and wide, they unintentionally promote plant and forest growth. Their deposits not only spread seeds, but also improve soil quality. Their dung, or guano, being rich in nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus. The scavengers in the family offer vital sanitation services. These cleanup crews happy to dispose of rotting carcasses. Vultures are protected from the disease and poisonous bacteria in their meals by a highly corrosive stomach acid. They are able to safely eat carrion that would kill any other bird. The avian world is also populated by many omnivores. These birds aren't that fussy, eating anything and everything they can get their beaks into. Some are highly selective. Mucivores, like woodpeckers, rely on plant mucus or sap for part of their diet. Some birds prefer smaller prey and enter into special partnerships to obtain them. For example, oxpeckers are often seen feasting off the backs of larger beasts. This is known as a mutualistic relationship, where both parties win. The bird gets a free meal, while its friend receives complimentary great saltwater oceans of the planet. Common features include webbed feet, waterproof feathers, and a healthy appetite for seafood. Seabirds truly live up to their name, surviving and thriving in some of the harshest conditions, some only coming ashore to breed. Skuas are some of the hardiest. About the size of a large seagull, this tough breed live and raise their young all around continental Antarctica. They are excellent flyers and have been seen as far inland as the South Pole. Tropical birds are at the other extreme of climate. A dazzling mix of colors is common. Bright greens and yellows helping to camouflage birds in the multicolored canopies of the rainforest. Typically equipped with large, strong beaks for protection and to crack hard nuts and seeds that make up part of their diet. Tropical birds have zygodactyl feet with 2 toes facing forward and 2 to the rear. Being able to wrap their entire foot around a branch creates a broad, solid perching position. Tropical birds are vocal, but their harsh calls are not that melodious. They do make up for it in other ways, known for their spirited, curious natures, their intelligence, and longevity. The blue and yellow macaw of South America, like many parrots, has a long lifespan in the wild. Mating for life, a parrot pair could spend 35 years together. Game birds are amongst the most fascinating in nature. Many have large, plump bodies and aren't the best flyers, spending most of their time on the ground. But they do know how to catch attention. The mating rituals of some are amongst the most elaborate in the bird world. Greater sage-grouse are notable for their courtship rituals. Males performing their strutting display for several hours in the morning and evening during spring. The females pick the most attractive dancer, and the dominant males will breed with 80% of the female population. It's common among game birds to be polygynous, males maintaining a harem of females to breed with. Many game birds, like the common pheasant, build their nests on the ground in a scrape, but will roost in trees at night for protection. They are short-distance flyers, preferring to run, but chicks are ready to fly within 12 to 14 days of hatching. Night birds prefer to avoid attention. Their existence depends on staying unnoticed. During the day, night birds tend to roost quietly, their feathery camouflage hiding them in amongst foliage. Come sunset, and they spring to life. This is when their acute hearing and large eyes come into play. While owls cannot roll or move their eyes, they make up for it by being able to rotate their heads through 270 degrees left or right, and also almost completely upside down. Another speciality is their soft-edged wings. A comb-like edge breaks up turbulence, muffling their wings and allowing them to silently swoop on their prey. Swooping is something this last group cannot do. Flightless birds all have wings, but they do not use them to take to the skies like the rest of their cousins. Some use theirs for balance, or like rudders to steer their bodies when they're on the run. Other flightless birds use their wings to try and attract a mate. A male ostrich symbolically clears out a nest in his courtship dance. Penguins have taken their wings to a whole other level, using their flipper-like appendages to soar underwater. With such diversity across all birds, the extremes are incredible. The ostrich takes out the title for the largest and heaviest bird in the world, 2.7 meters tall and weighing up to 150 kilos, sometimes more. At the other end of the scale is the bee hummingbird, weighing less than a sugar cube. The males are smaller than females, only measuring 57 millimeters, with their bill and tail making up half of that. The wandering albatross takes the title for the broadest wingspan, stretching up to 3.5 meters. For speed, the peregrine falcon is the fastest, able to exceed 320 kilometers per hour during a hunting dive. Underwater, the gentoo penguin comes out on top, able to swim at 40 kilometers per hour. The award for the largest beak goes to the Australian pelican, which can sport bills up to 50 centimeters. As for their massive throat pouches, these natural fishing nets can hold an incredible 13 liters of water. The list of superlatives relating to birds is seemingly endless. Not surprising, with so many remarkable creatures making up their ranks. The fact that birds have managed to inhabit every continent is not down to sheer luck. It's thanks to a vast range of natural features, finely tuned adaptations, and remarkable skill sets. Some of their most obvious and valuable assets are their feathers. Not only do they keep their bodies warm and camouflaged from predators, they make flight possible. And during breeding season, they act like a vibrant billboard, advertising genetic prowess. There are 3 basic types of feathers. Soft, fluffy down that grows close to the skin, trapping warm air that insulates their bodies. Next, contour feathers that cover their wings, tails, and body, giving them a smooth, streamlined coat. They are strong, flexible, and lightweight structures. Special versions of these grow from their wings, known as flight feathers, that are shaped to push air and create lift, allowing the bird to take off and fly. A bird's wing shape also contributes to this ability. Slightly bulging or curving out on top, and flat or slightly concave underneath, the inspiration for the design